his story in the comics has always been one of the more disliked Spider-Man storylines, but hot take, I actually like the Clone Saga. And well, there's lots to like about his card in Marvel Snap. We'll get to that in just a little while, but first, who is Scarlet Spider? So okay, he was created by the villain known as the Jackal. You see, the Jackal is a scientist who mastered cloning technology and hates Spider-Man, so he created clones of Spider-Man to torment him. One of those clones was assumed dead after the first Clone Saga, but 5 years later he reappears. Turns out he survived and, believing himself to be a clone, exiled himself from New York and changed his name to Ben Reilly, a combination of Peter's Uncle Ben and Aunt May's maiden name. After coming back to New York when Aunt May's health was failing, Ben came face to face with Peter. They mended fences and started working together as Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider. Along the way, it was revealed that Peter Parker was the clone all along, and Ben was the original, which is actually what made this whole Clone Saga so controversial and unpopular with fans of the series. Peter retired when Mary Jane got pregnant, knowing that Ben was around to be New York's web-slinging superhero. But the big climax of this second Clone Saga revealed that Peter was in fact the original, and it was Norman Osborn who had been secretly misleading and masterminding this whole entire saga, killing off Ben in the process. Of course, Ben does come back again. This is the comics after all. He becomes the new Jackal at one point, went back to becoming the Scarlet Spider, gets killed and resurrected a bunch of times again, with his mind deteriorating each time, until finally he gets his memories wiped and he becomes a villain by the name of Chasm. In Marvel Snap, Scarlet Spider is a 4-energy 5-power card with the ability Activate. Add an exact clone of this to another location. Okay, so even without buffing him, that's 10 power across 2 locations. It's not bad. It even gives you access to locations that lock you out, like Sanctum, right? But of course, Scarlet Spider is even better when you buff him with cards like Forge, Gwenpool, Nakia, Okoye, Shuri, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Namora. Especially the last two I just mentioned, because Symbiote and Namora already work well together, so Scarlet Spider could easily fit into a deck like this. Also, if you Namora and give Scarlet +5 on turn 5, then activate, you have 2 10-power cards on the board by turn 6, right? And that gives you a massive discount on Scar, who, hey look, he's in the Spotlight Cache with Scarlet Spider. What a coincidence. Okay, before we get to that, for you C5 lovers, Scarlet Spider basically gives you 2 5-power bodies for Cerebro to buff up. Now onto the Spotlight Caches like I was talking about earlier. Scarlet Spider arrives with Scar, great synergy there, and also White Widow, another great disruptive card. So hey, I hope you've been saving up those keys.
I'm his clone. Or maybe he's my clone. This is starting to sound like a bad comic book plot.
In a stacked season, Scarlet Spider has the potential to be one of the standouts, so I'm definitely hyped to get him. Even if